Yes, a very good evening to one and all, and a hearty
Good
welcome
evening.
to the webinar. Today, we are going to discuss once again about anger management, and we have our resource person, Mrs. P. Roja Rao, who is already a master trainer from DAV, and ma'am has a vast experience of dealing with senior secondary students, especially the problems which we all face with such sort of students during their adolescence. And with her vast experience, she is going to give us few insights into how to manage our anger. It is very common being human beings, we get angry. Especially being a teacher, you will get to manage nearly 30 students, 40 students in a classroom. So nothing wrong being human beings. It is very general that we become angry, but managing the anger is a very important factor over here as we belong to a very noble profession. So I'm pretty much sure that by the end of the session, we are going to have a very good takeaway, which would be, given to us by Mrs. P. Roja Rao. Ma'am, all the complete dais is yours, and we are very much excited to listen to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Um, Thank you, everyone. Good evening, all of you. And thank you so much, Ravi, sir. You have given me this opportunity here on this platform. And and this is really a good thing that they should all join in such platforms in order to, you know, share their views and enhance, their teaching skills. Good evening, Sukhwinder, sir. Okay, now I would like to break the ice between us. Okay, so to break the ice, since we are very few now, only 22 of us, so let's play a game which is, addressing the adjectives. Okay, so I hope I'm audible to all.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope I'm audible to all. Yes,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
thank you. Um, Before we start this game, let's have a little, let me tell you the ground rules because this is the most important thing which we need to go before we start off anything. Of course, we need to respect everyone's opinion. I'm sure you all can read it. Maintain the confidentiality. Okay. Participate actively in this webinar. Keep an open mind and keep your audios off unless you have something to say. I'm sure you have a lot to say. Keep your videos also on so that we can interact and know each other. And please avoid interruptions while speaking. When someone is speaking, we need to avoid interruptions. Okay? Okay, and now let's go for breaking the ice between us. All of you are so silent, and me here talking all the time is not nice. So now I'm going to start the game. The game is I'm going to address myself as Rosie Roja. So I would like each one of you to just switch on your video and come out with your name, but with an interesting adjective. Yeah, may I take your names, please? But it would be good if you come out with your own names. Yeah, we are breaking the ice.
Yes, ma'am. Myself,
Yes, ma'am.
Payas Punita.
Hi, Sunita. Wow, welcome, ma'am. How are you?
Fine.
Yes, next.
Good evening, ma'am. I am Sassy
Good
Marina.
evening. Okay, Sasi Marina. Very good. Nice name. Next.
Hi, ma'am. Myself,
Hi.
Mohana. Magical
Ma'am,
Mohana.
address yourself. Very good. Magical Mohana. Nice name. Very good. Jubilant Jessie, Jasila. Okay. Jasila. Okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
This is Sangeeta, simple Sangeeta. Sorry, my video is not working.
It's okay, ma'am. It's okay. Simple
Okay.
Sangeeta.
Yes,
Nice
ma'am.
meeting you.
Thank you.
Smiley Aisha. Wow. But it would be nice, Aisha, if you would address your name with an adjective starting with A.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Ramandeep Kaur from Victoria Public School, Lera, Ahmedgarh.
Okay. What is your adjective you would like to attribute to your name? Amandeep Kaur, madam.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Selvi, self-disciplined Selvi.
Oh, self-discipline, Selvi. Nice.
Thank
Nice. Let's play faster. Yeah. Good. Welcome.
Hello, can I say?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Prashanti and I would say peaceful Prashanti.
Wow. Peaceful Prashanti. Welcome. Nice name.
Happy evening, ma'am. This is Amicable Akila.
Hi, Amicable Akila. Welcome.
Hi.
Same to you. Happy evening.
Hello,
Happy
ma'am.
evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Myself, beautiful Nari. My name is Narmada, a beautiful Nari.
Oh, beautiful Nari. Wow. Welcome. Thank you
Thank you.
for coming.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Ravi sir, may I have your name also, please? Ravikant sir. Okay. So when we have called out our names and we have attributed some adjectives to them, we were quite happy. We felt very enlightened. We felt very happy and somewhat enriched and different. It's not like feeling very sad or sorrow or angry or, you like when you say your names, you love it. You loved it, isn't it? But sometimes, what happens is we are not, sometimes we do not stand to what our likes and dislikes, our likes are. So we go a little away from it. That is, we just go with this. Let's see my agenda here. What is anger? We need to know. And we'll have an overview of anger management and certain key strategies and techniques for how to manage our anger. And of course, we will have our anecdotes, okay? Sharing. There will be a recap. Yes. So maybe go to the next slide, please. Okay, dear teachers. So we may go to the next one, please. The next one. Yeah. Now in this, there are two questions. Your expectations, I would like to know from this session. The challenges you face in the classroom that make you angry and the techniques you use to face them. Okay. So from this session, what are your expectations? First of all, tell me what are the challenges you face in the classroom that make you angry?
Ma'am, I would like to
Let's
say,
make it interactive.
when I'm
with
teaching,
teachers. Yeah.
when I'm teaching the students, many times the students don't concentrate. I'm teaching them and they're dreaming away, thinking of something else, looking somewhere else. So that annoys me a lot because I'm putting my time and energy and there's limited time to complete the course. So that's what gets me irritated. And that's when I call out their names and go and stand near them. So they become alert in that case. But obviously, yes, when they behave like this, it's really irritating.
Yeah. Irritation. Yes. So what do you do, ma'am? What technique you use to face them, such children?
Usually I call them out. I call them out and call them to my desk. And I tell them, bring your book here, or I make them stand near my desk. So when they come out of the crowd, right now they're sitting among the other students, so they keep dreaming. But when they come and stand near the board or near the desk, that time they're alert because they're singled out. So they know everybody's looking at them and I'm near them, so they have to concentrate.
Yes. There's a person here, Motorola Edge. Say crosstalks. What is that crosstalks that makes you angry? Motorola, I think I have read the name. Hello. Okay. Yes, we have really many such issues, like they do things intentionally, that like they talk intentionally, they write another subject in your period, and sometimes they even eat in the class, and I'm sure you face such things in the class, isn't it? So these things, they trigger our anger, isn't it? So let's see what exactly anger is now. Yes. Can I ask any participant to read it for me? Marina ma'am, would you
Yes,
please
ma'am.
read it for me?
Sure, ma'am. Anger is an emotion characterized by tension and hostility arising from frustration, real or imagined injury by another, or perceived injustice, according to the American Psychological Association. Anger is a natural emotional
Yeah.
response to perceived threats, frustrations, or injustices.
Yes. So anger, it's an emotion actually. And this emotion, it is what? Characterized by what you understood now, the tensions, the hostilities, frustrations, isn't it? And the injuries, all those things that we perceive, that and how we respond now, that is what matters. How we respond is what matters. These emotional responses. So please, may I go to the next slide? Hello, sir. Yeah.
This is the next slide,
So
ma'am.
now you are seeing, yes, this is a slide, sir. So now you are seeing the causes of anger here. Now you are seeing that these causes, that is the hostility, frustration, all these things, the perceived injustice, actually they trigger our anger. So when we get angry, generally what happens is people take to either, you may go to the next slide, sir. Excuse me, sir. Next, yeah. It is fight or flight. This is what your senses, they give response to this. To the good evening, ma'am. So you get this fight or flight. Can anyone tell me what this fight or flight is?
You either move out of the situation or you stand there and you face the situation. You respond back, you verbally, either you fight or physically fight, or you just move out of that place.
Very
Or
good.
don't give
Thank you so much. Yes. So when you fight it, that means you confront the threat and you fight that. And even if you find somebody arguing, and you do not like it, but you want to assert yourself and then you choose to argue, that means you are standing there to fight it, isn't it? And sometimes we also see this athletes, how when in competition, what they do is their anger, how do they channelize it? They put it in such an aggressive way that they win the competition. It's not that they're going to, yeah, the fight is here to win the race or to win the game. But in case of flight, you said it rightly, ma'am, escape, escapism, avoiding conflicts, just running away from danger, you know, dropping out of distressful events. So that either they take this response, fight, or escape. But uh, let's say what exactly these anger brings change in us. Some physiological changes it brings, some psychological changes it brings. Let's see what are the physiological changes it brings. You can read. I think I would like to ask now, uh, Akila ma'am, would you like to read it for me? The next slide, sir. Yes. Some physiological, matlab physically, what are the changes we face? What are the changes we come across in our body?
Increased heart rate, dilated pupils,
Yeah.
rapid breathing, tensed muscles, suppressed digestion, heightened alertness.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed these changes in yourself or the people whom you have seen? And please use the
Yes,
chat
ma'am.
box, dear educators. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, we do find. Sometimes, you find their, uh, mouth, lips twisted, and their eyebrows all raised, such things we find. And what could be the psychological changes, ma'am? Yes, sir, I'm coming to your answer also, to your question. I'll come to that. Okay, Ramandeep called, madam. Ma'am, how can we handle kindergarten kids in anger mode? Okay, sure, we'll come to it. So, what are the psychological changes we face?
You're not able to think properly in anger. The psychological changes, the capacity
Yes,
to
yes,
make the right decision, the capacity to make the right decision
decision.
fades away.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Anything else? Others? I want others also to participate, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, my dear educators. Have I taken away your Sunday? But okay. Yes, there are psychological changes, and we come across so many such psychological changes. And we need to, when that psychology comes here, that means our thinking, our behavior, it changes. Our memory, our thought process, it changes so much. Yes, not able to see things in the right perspective. What you want to see, you're not able to see them. Yes, you're right, sir. Absolutely. So, now, what could be now? Actually, we have already discussed. So these are the anger triggers. So please, maybe go to the next slide. Excuse me, sir. The next slide, please.
Yeah, ma'am. Psychological changes, isn't it? Here is the
No,
slide.
sir. Anger triggers. Next slide.
Okay.
Next slide. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much audible now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anger triggers.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, yeah. So these anger triggers, we have already discussed in the very beginning the anger triggers, and these are some more. When people disrespect us or they're rude to us, there is miscommunication again. You know, we have these triggers, unmet needs. What are unmet needs?
When you have a
Anyone,
particular
please?
need and that need is not being fulfilled, that causes irritation, that causes
Yes,
anger, frustration. It may be financial need,
irritation.
emotional need, financial need, social needs. If these needs are not fulfilled, it causes anger and irritation.
Yes, ma'am. You're right. Sometimes, time pressure, that you have to complete things in time, and the traffic delays or any kind of perceived injustice, that also triggers. Now, what is this perceived injustice? Anyone? What is perceived injustice?
When you either you create something, or when you make up something, or you do things, and somebody else tried to take away the credit on that.
Okay,
Perceived
yes.
injustice,
So you have,
according to
yes,
me,
ma'am.
ma'am, perceived injustice is that when you think that injustice is being done to you, when you perceive that something is not right, when something wrong is being done to you.
You're right. Yes. See, when you have done something and you do not get that credit for it, and you feel that something is done injustice to you, you're right. Absolutely right. And at that time, of course, we get this anger. So these are some of the anger triggers. But suppose if we identify these anger triggers, so may we go to the next slide, please? If we locate these anger triggers, whether they're coming from you, internal, or are they external? If you understand the trigger, is it coming from you or is it coming from the outside? Is something hurting you from outside or is it hurting from you inside? Okay. If we understand this internal and external triggers, then we can easily manage our anger. Actually, these triggers, they provoke anger directly, influencing our thoughts and emotions. And outside, sometimes the outside events, they trigger. And that is external. Any more, ma'am? Anyone else can tell some more internal triggers
Yes, ma'am.
where you can understand that, yes,
Ma'am, jealousy,
yes, ma'am.
when somebody is doing better than us and we realize that we are not being able to compete with them and we will never be able to compete with them. So that causes resentment, that causes anger and frustration.
Yes.
Another
That is from within, isn't it?
yeah, internal.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes even our memories, some traumatic memories if we have, and they also are somewhat associated to some memories or some happenings that can also, bring out that internal anger. That can be the internal trigger. So, sometimes physical sensations like even some pain somewhere or hunger or even thirst or discomfort, sometimes they also cause this internal anger, that is internal trigger. And what are these external? Let's have some more on external. Anyone?
Ma'am, when somebody does injustice to you, when people act badly with you, they're rude to you, they're mean to you, these are external influences. So these
Yeah.
also cause resentment and anger.
Yes. Wonderful, ma'am. Marina, ma'am. It seems only we both are having a nice time here, chatting about all the triggers and all that. I would like others also to please join this. Please. I'm not going to, I mean, it's not a kind of, teaching or something. We are discussing actually anger management, how we have to manage our anger. I would like others also to come out, please. May I call names? May I?
Yes, ma'am, that would be better than people will
Arpita
be urged
Datta,
to.
ma'am.
Ma'am, you just wants to reply for how to manage anger, ma'am. Or you have to tell about the external anger.
Yeah, what is that external? I mean, what are those external triggers, that actually bring anger
External,
in
when you
you?
talk, when you
So the
say
answer
about external,
says when somebody is not. Yes,
no,
ma'am,
actually,
please.
external anger means actually uh, we are not responsible for the anger. Okay, someone is making us to be getting angry. So better to leave out from that place only. I will be thinking. So what to say for that? On that time, no, what we used to expect, no, ma'am. I just walk away from there. I'll take a deep breath and I'll just step away from the situation. I'll just go out. If anger certainly from my internal it comes means that I was expecting something and I didn't get that. On those times I'll get anger, but external tension is not because of me actually. So I don't know whether I'm right or not. This is as per my view I'm saying, ma'am.
Okay. No, ma'am, you're absolutely right. Actually, this anger that we get is somehow we need to, I mean,
Ma'am, your video is upside
we
down
have
or
to
something.
manage it.
Roja, ma'am, you need to correct yeah.
Mine?
Yes, now it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I was reading the chats, sir, and the chats are not visible for me. That's why I have to go to the chats. Okay. Yes, I have noted some of them. Like you see, the environmental stressors are there. Now, the loud noise, the crowded spaces that are there, they also make us, trigger our anger. Sometimes traffic jams, sometimes unexpected changes in your work or in your routine. That also creates, the situational, they are triggers that trigger our anger. And the social triggers, on anyhow, you have mentioned that, Jayavani madam, the social injustice when we are facing, or even peer pressure when we face, sometimes financial stresses also cause such kind of social, uh, what you call, triggers, external triggers.
Can I
And
say something, ma'am?
when in the work, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Actually, I feel there are certain internal triggers also that they cause anger, and which we suppose the teacher is unwell, and then the teacher is unable to handle her class, or she's unwell, so she is like trying to maintain or do things, but actually her illness is actually a trigger for her, causing anger, but then it's like she's unable to handle the situation and all. So illness is another big thing which.
Yes, you're right, ma'am. That is illness and emotions, all those come under that. Uh, you're right, absolutely right. So let's go to the next slide, sir. How we are going to Let's see how we are going to manage this anger. What is exactly anger management? Yeah. Yes, I would like someone to read out anger management. What anger management is? Next slide, please.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anger management, a set of techniques and strategies that individuals use to control their emotional responses to anger provoking situations. It involves recognizing the signs of anger, understanding the underlying causes, and employing methods to reduce the emotional and psychological impact of anger. The goal is to handle anger in a constructive way, ensuring it does not negatively affect one's personal or professional life.
So you have seen what is anger management when we talk of. Then you have seen here, it's just simply the technique or the strategies that an individual uses in order to control his emotional responses or the anger provoking situation. So in that case, what happens is that is what matters, that is what actually signifies how you respond to this anger and how you're able to maintain your anger. Okay, manage your anger. And let's talk about one thing, that is importance of managing anger in a school setting. Can anyone just tell me what is it in school setting? Why is it important to manage our anger, especially we teachers, since already our Ravikant sir has mentioned that we in this noble profession, we need to manage our anger, isn't it? Working in such a profession. Now, how is it, what is the importance of managing this anger? What are the things that we are going to see, the changes, in an angry situation, we have discussed now the triggers and then the consequences, the psychological changes, the physiological changes we have seen. But now, if you manage your anger in school, what will be the how will it be like? What will it be?
Can I say, ma'am?
Yeah. Yes.
Usually in school, children, children learn from they learn more by seeing others' behavior. So a teacher, when she handles the anger well or any situation well, a child learns from it how to handle those situations. So it's very important that the way a teacher handles situation and manages her anger, it helps the child also to learn from the teacher. So it's very important for the teacher to be, managing her anger. His or her, sorry.
Absolutely. So the answer says we need to respond to the situation instead of reacting to it. Exactly, sir. You're right, sir. Yes, when you do that, when you respond to them, to this situation, what would you find? What are the changes that you would see? What changes would you find? Don't you think that the learning environment will be more positive? Yes, Puneet ma'am, you're
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
We are role models, so we have to change. But then, what is it what impact it is going to have in the classroom and in the children when we manage our anger?
Yeah.
Children
Can
become
you
more
hear me, ma'am? Hello?
tolerant.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm Preeta. As
Okay,
I
then.
think, nowadays teachers are not showing anchors in the classroom. I think they used to shout. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're
Yes.
audible. You are audible.
Yes. So instead of shouting in the class, we are calm and quiet. The situations we are showing the children, if they are shouting or if they are creating any problem in the class, also we just call them personally, asking the what is the reason. We can make them understand. Okay, we should not shout to the friends or in the class, or we can solve it. Each and everything we can solve it. We have to find the solution instead of making the issues. So like that way, I think we can make them understand. So the class will be
Yes, ma'am.
live, calm and quiet. That's what we do in the class. Hello.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. You are right, ma'am. We can promote actually, a healthy environment in the class. Yes. Bhavanjot saying, or ma'am also says there, or say, ma'am, I'm sorry, whatever, but I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. When you say that we are going to manage, the class in a very healthy way, and the responses, should from the second side should comes. I think, yes, Bhavanjot saying, ma'am, please tell me what is that? I think same response from the second side should come. Or you mean that the children also should respond in the same way?
Sorry for the interruption, ma'am.
Of course, they
Dear
will respond.
participants,
Yes,
the
sir.
meeting is going to end within 1 minute. So once again, after the meeting ends, we request everyone to join with the same link so that, like we can continue with the rest
Okay,
of the
thank you.
session. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And Sukhvinder, sir, you're absolutely right. It will improve. Okay.